again. Yay, Alex! Yay! You can hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
I'll take my hearing aids back. Okay.
Oh. All right. Okay. So John, tell me about what got you first interested in flying.
When I was a freshman in college, was in 1941, and all of a sudden I was interested because Uncle Sam was right at my knee level in the draft. And so I weathered out the time, and when I was in the middle of my sophomore year, I left. And within, you had your choice of what division of military interested you, and after looking around, I thought, gee, I'd like to hang out with those airplanes. And so the next thing I know, I'm in Charleston, or rather Charlotte, North Carolina. And we were the first assembled group that went into World War II. And the Charlotte airport was about the size of a little city that it had just 2 runways and no traffic. And to show you how it's grown through the years, you can see where it is right now. And we were in Charlotte for basically almost a year because no one knew what to do with us. And we had, for example, I've got a kind of a list here. We had 20 B-25s and 60 A-20s, of which is a B-25 with a single pilot. And so we go from there down to Tampa, Florida, where all of the clearance to Europe were based. And an interesting point, since we're in the Charlotte area, we had a bombing expedition that consisted of about a 2-pound flour bag, and when you dropped it out, the bag would break and you'd have a little puddle of white in the area. But to make matters worse, we were always on the edge because we never knew one time where are we going or what are we going to do and all that. And eventually we wound up going to Europe. But then after we get to Europe, the war is quieting down, and we wound up either going to North Africa or to Australia. And the way it worked out, the war ended in Europe right at the time that we were packing up to go to Australia, and we wound up coming back to Tampa because that was the headquarters of everything at the time. And in our group was basically some super people in that we had 4 West Pointers that at the time that was the only school for the military, the Army. And to make a long story short, we were so close together that we were on the same page, so to speak, that we were all going to finish up school, and I had the broad idea of becoming a lawyer. And after I found out that I'd been gone from school for 4 years in the military, that I should start school over again. And I thought, I don't need this. And so I didn't ever go back to get a law degree, and I just went back and got out and thanked them, and that was it. But I was so taken aback by flying because I was in the nose of this one airplane with the boss flying it, and he was a bird colonel, and he was the guy that you were responsible to. So as a result of that, I thought, well, darn it, I'm gonna get my flight back, of which I did. And in the meantime, I wound up with 3,600 hours, of which, whether you know it or not, is quite a bit of time. And I worked with my company to do a lot of flying and to take guests and things. We had 7 factories, and the big connection that I was with became part of General Electric. Eventually bought us out, and we made parts for General Electric's engines that were converting from propeller driven to basically to the jet engines as we have today. And we had a corner on, for example, with the military, and I can't think of the name of this because I wasn't in the Army, but we made the ends of rifles that were plugged in, and this was World War I that we made these ends of the rifle. And in World War II, they had looked us up and found we were still in business and gave us an order for 150,000 of these spikes that were going to be used for parades and other things other than killing people. And as a result of that, we were acquainted with the bars made of stainless steel that are in front of the whirlers on jet engines. And so as a result of it, we were doing tremendous business with General Electric on that one item, because they were getting orders from Boeing